Zen in the car, for the spiritually minded liberty activist on the go. Liketh, shareth, subscribeth. It's what the cool kids do.
I want to introduce the first speaker of today. He is a U.S. Navy veteran. He's a good friend of mine, and he's the executive director for Peachtree NORML, Mr. Ryan Ralston.
Good morning. I think it's still morning. As a veteran, I just want to step forward first and foremost and just thank James for putting this together. It really goes, the work that he does behind the scenes sometimes goes unnoticed, and if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have an event like this. And if it weren't for his love and his attention that he gives 365 days a year, I don't think we would have the family that we have right now gathered here together today. So one thing that I want to talk about, at least briefly, is about unity. We're ending a rather difficult political cycle here in Georgia, or we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And there's a lot of division right now. And I think it's, number one, by design, and number two, quite unnecessary. And here's what I mean by that. Raise your hand if you're a mother. Raise your hand if you're a father. Raise your hand if you're a brother or sister. What about a grandparent? There's a little more in common. We have a little more in common than what we like to think about sometimes. Despite what we're being told on the news or what we're being told on the television or the radio, the commonality that you see can be found in each and every one of us, and that's humanity. James helped manage and organize one plant. And so I really started thinking about just the name in general of his organization, One Plant. And it means something more to me today, 5+ years into advocacy work, than it did when I first got started. Because not only is there one plant, but we're one people. And we lose sight of that sometimes. Again, I think it's by design that there's this division that is being shoved down our throats almost daily on a 24-hour news cycle. It's not necessary. We all might look a little different. We all might dress a little different. We all might talk a little different. But at the end of the day, the commonality that we have is found here. And it's within this unity that I'm going to speak about. If I go home from work, I've had a rough day at work. Traffic was horrible getting to and from the office. I get in, I don't feel good, I have a headache. I go to the refrigerator, I grab a beer, a glass of wine, I sit down and have that, sit in my chair, relax. Am I doing that recreationally, or am I doing that medicinally? Or does it really matter? Because at the end of the day, who am I hurting, and what am I doing by putting something inside my body, inside my own house, that's worth an uproar? Because it's not. And so the same thing has happened with the plant. The same thing has happened with cannabis. Because right now, we're being divided amongst those who wish medicinal and those who wish recreational. And my argument is this: there is no difference between a medicinal or recreational use of this plant. And so talking with James and talking with others behind the scene, I think we need to focus in on the commonality that we have here, what brought us here together today. And it's not black, it's not white, it's not R, it's not D, it's not independent, it's not mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, but it's a desire for us to end prohibition against the plant. Our country has literally waged war against the plant. And truth be told, they've lost. Because anytime we gather like this, anytime we collectively gather and sit down as one, we're winning. We're winning. My friend and founder of Peachtree NORML, Sharon Raver, likes to say, when we're talking, we're winning. And that's exactly what we're doing. And so this divide that we're hearing, at least the rhetoric that we're hearing, the political rhetoric about medicinal and about recreational, we have not lost sight of what the one plant truly is. And we need to remind our elected officials, any chance we get, even though we're coming off a rough election cycle, we need to remind our elected officials, one, that they're beholden to us. They answer to us. It's just that simple. We don't answer to them. And so collectively, we, one people, one plant, want access to the healing powers of cannabis. We don't want to be caged for it. We don't want to be ostracized for it. We just want access to it. Unfettered access. Whether you want it on the quote-unquote recreational end, if you want it on the medicinal end, we just want access to it. Unfortunately, we don't have ballot initiative here in Georgia. Otherwise, this issue would have been addressed years and years ago. Unfortunately, we don't. And so, as we look ahead to 2023, I just want to remind each and every one of us here today that we can be unified. We have a collective front. We have a collective voice. We have one plant and we have one heart. And if we could just focus that energy and direct that energy on the end goal, not the end fighting, but the end goal. If we can just see that first and foremost, it's going to take this unified front to continue this fight. I've been involved for 5+ years. Some of us in here have been involved for quite longer than that. And each year we think we see there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but each year our elected officials find a way to further this divide. And my argument would be that tonight we just need to stand up, or today we need to stand up and say enough is enough. There's no division. There's one plant, there's one people, and there's truly one love. And that if we can stand on that and focus our efforts in that direction, perhaps it'll guide us towards what we ultimately want, and that's the end prohibition against cannabis, at least here in Georgia. If we do that, I think if we can pull our power together and unify and heal, then I think the future looks bright for us in our effort. I keep hearing about 2023 is maybe a rebuilding year, or 2023 not a whole lot's gonna change. We're not gonna accomplish a whole lot. But my argument would be in 2023, it's a fresh start. 2023 comes a new opportunity for us to do what is right. And we've continued that. We continue that fight. We've been doing it for quite some time now, and I don't anticipate anyone here is going to relent. At least I hope not. But in the interim, and I'm going to be quiet here in a minute, that was the message I wanted to bring this morning, and that was just about unity, unification. We all come from different walks of life. We all come from different backgrounds. We're all raised a little bit different. We all listen to different types of music. But at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters, husbands, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. And that's what we don't need to lose sight of. Regardless of what we're being told, regardless of the vision that's being shoved down our throat each and every day, 24/7, I think that we're a little more than that. We're a little better than that. And we are not what we're being told that we are. So just look around for 1 second. Just look around. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have business entrepreneurs, and we run the gambit here. Chefs, mothers, grandmothers, cooks. I mean, Stacy, where did you drive from? Dublin? Dublin. I think who drove further away than Dublin to be here? Washington, D.C. New Jersey. Where at?
Blue Ridge.
Blue Ridge? Okay. Dr. Umar, you flew in from? Massachusetts. So if that doesn't speak volumes for what we're trying to accomplish here, I don't know what else does. And with that, I'm going to be quiet. Just thank you for your time, and just please remember that we are still one plant. We're all just one heart. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to kind of reiterate what Ryan said, because that's what started One Plant, was the fact that it's all cannabis. You know, we can talk about hemp, we can talk about marijuana, recreational, adult use, medical, whatever. It's all cannabis, no matter what. It's how we grow it, what we grow it for. That's what ultimately defines it. And One Plant just went along really well with One Plant United. You know, we're all one. It's one plant. We're all one people. If we work together, united, we can overcome. We can actually change things. And it's so great to see so many great organizations here coming together. You know, and there's a lot of good organizations, and you're going to learn a lot more about them here.
ZenInTheCar.com, powered by CannaSense Total Wellness. CannaSense Total Wellness provides lawful medical and recreational cannabis nationwide, delivered straight to your door. They have everything in their online apothecary, from flower, vapes, topicals, and of course edibles. Join now for instant access to your medicine by visiting CannaSense.com and clicking Join Now. Be sure to put Zen in the Car as your sponsor on the membership form, and for faster access, just scan this QR code thingy on your screen. Zen in the Car, for the spiritually minded liberty activist on the go, powered by CannaSense.